How fast do I want to lose a follow? Alright, we'll cool down with Mass Effect. I am just going to go ahead. Rex, Tali, Edie. I think that's my S tier. Thane, I think it's super cool that he's a Drell because you don't have any other Drell in your party. But I never pick up Thane doing my runs. I just never do. He's not enough. He's Garrus with a little bit of biotics. He's not that great for me. I'm honestly gonna throw him in C tier. I can't really put him higher than that. I just don't like him that much. I like his character, I like his backstory. Morinth, D tier. Kaidan, he's with you in Mass Effect 1 and 3. Kind of a dick in 2, but so is Ashley. It's kind of just the way they're written. I think Kaidan is cool. He's pretty powerful biotic. Also knows some shoots. He's a Vanguard for sure. I like that about him. I think it's really interesting, but he's got to be in B tier for me. He's a human. He's boring. I also never romance him. I just don't think he's that interesting. Ashley, I'm throwing in C tier. I'm not the biggest fan of Ashley. She's just a straight soldier. There's not a whole lot about her. Coolest thing about Ashley is when she's dead. In Mass Effect 3, you see a ghost of her. That's the coolest thing about it. Ash Ketchum. Oh, Ashley. Okay, sorry. I was very confused. I thought you were talking about Ash because she gets blown up. James is okay. Again, super soldier. Just not really that great of a character. I don't usually pick him from missions. I have him as a squad mate in the beginning of Mass Effect 3 because I have to. Throwing him in D tier above Morinth. Above Morinth. Garrus is an A tier squad mate. He's sniper and assault rifles, and he does tech abilities. He's a great infiltrator class. Super fun to have as a squad mate, like kind of a renegade. Interesting dialogue options with him. I like Garrus a lot, but I personally don't qualify him as S tier. Grunt is top A tier. He's fucking amazing. He's the only other Krogan that you get, and he's like your little baby child, okay? You let him out of his tank, and he's really neat. I fucking love Grunt. He's hilarious. He's so good. I'm struggling to not put him in S tier, to be quite frank. And fuck it, it's my list. Grunt's going in S tier. So good. His Citadel DLC stuff from 3, literal perfection. Alright, Jaal. Jaal is from Andromeda. He is of the race that is native to the Andromeda galaxy. I don't find him that interesting, to be honest. Like, I have more of a good time talking to the other characters of his race. I'm even struggling to think of what the race is called because I've only played Andromeda like 2 times. Even though he's like the new fun race, I don't really pick him very often. I'm putting him in C tier. Jack, solid A tier teammate. Super biotic, really fucking funny. I enjoy her romance arc. I think it's really fun. I just wish that you could do a woman-to-woman relationship with her, because it's canonically there that she's a bisexual, and they didn't include that, and I just think that was a lost opportunity. Jacob Taylor, he's a good biotic, and he's got good shoot 'em ups, but I don't really pick him that often. I think his story, you could compare him to James, but I think his story is much better than James. I like backstory and his growth, and throughout Mass Effect 2 and 3, I think he has a great arc for his character, and it's just fantastic. I'm gonna put him in B tier. I think he's a really solid character, but I don't usually pick him. That's the biggest thing. PB got the short end of the stick with a lot of things. Her opening scene in Andromeda was super fucked. Super bad. Like, the editing on it, literally trash. They tried to update it, still doesn't look great. Her facial animations were really bad. The gun that she's holding is literally pointed backwards, and them trying to edit it just kind of made it look worse. Like, you could like write it off as her being like ditzy and she just accidentally has the gun backwards, but them trying to edit it made it look so bad, even worse. I think she's an interesting character. The one time that I've completed Andromeda, she was my romance. I don't know, I can't really put her higher than C tier. I think that they just didn't give her enough credit. She's just not there. She's not fully developed. I don't think she has a great arc, mostly because I can't remember it. And there was only one game. It is hard for me to compare the Andromeda characters to the trilogy characters because there's just so much more to the trilogy characters. I feel like even James, because he's slightly comparable because he's only in one game, they're kind of on the same playing field, and Andromeda was supposed to be bigger than that. You know what I mean? Legion is an A tier character. He's almost barely not S tier. The only reason he's not S tier is because you don't have him for very long. In Mass Effect 2, when you get Legion, it's the point of no return mission. When you go to get Legion, you're getting the Reaper IFF so that you can go through the Omega 4 relay. Once you do that mission, Legion becomes a part of your crew. You get his loyalty mission, and then you can do one mission. And it's usually always his loyalty mission unless you don't care about the Normandy's crew. Because after the one mission, the next time you go to pick a mission, your crew gets kidnapped by the collectors. After every subsequent mission that is not going to attack the collector base, you lose crew members. You lose portions of your crew. So it's not beneficial to do anything except grab Legion, do his loyalty mission, and then immediately finish the game. And that's extremely unfortunate because he's the only sentient Geth that you talk to for most of the entire series. You talk to him at the end of 2, you talk to him throughout 3, and then there's like one more sentient Geth that you hear from, and it's after Legion dies. I desperately wish that you could have Legion for more of the game, because I feel personally like I can't experience a lot of the game with him and the unique dialogue that he has because I want to save my crew. It only benefits you to save your crew. That's the only reason he's not S tier for me, and that's not even his fault. Liam, I think, is an interesting character. I like him in Andromeda. I am going to throw Liam in B tier with Caden and Jacob. I think he's good. Liara, I may get shit from the community, but I'm not the biggest fan of Liara's. I think she's alright. Like, I think she's a solid character, but her interactions in 2 aren't that great, and then she's just kind of an okay character in 3. It might be because I don't pick her that often, unless I have to. I just don't utilize her that much. She's full biotic, and her counterpart in that sense is Jack, who's a full biotic, or Samara, who's a full biotic, and the other 2 are just better in my opinion. I just think that they're better. I'm putting Liara in B tier. I think that's where she fits. I think she's fine, but not really a stellar character. It's cool that she becomes a shadow broker. I think that's really cool. Really good asset to the game, but just not that fun, personally. Cora, she's a fucking hard ass in Andromeda. She's interesting, but slightly annoying. So I'm putting her in C tier. Morden is amazing. Really funny, really tactical. I'm putting him in A. Always kills me in 3. Every time he dies, it kills me. It's such a poetic and great scene. He's curing the genophage, which he helped create. So it's just this great arc of him going into from thinking that the genophage was exactly the right calculated decision and that there was nothing wrong with it, to really turning around and understanding that that was not okay, and wanting to, like, truly would give anything to fix it, and does give everything to fix it. Drax is awesome. I love my Krogan squadmates. He's an old Krogan, but not necessarily stuck in the old Krogan ways. He's from Andromeda, so he's not exactly tied, but like, you understand the clan that he comes from because they're mentioned in the other game as well. I think he's a tier character. Samara, I just think that I think she's a good character. but I don't pick her. Again, like, she's competing against Jack, which is just such a great character. I will say this, except for this past run, because Samara was dead, I always pick Samara to hold the barrier as you're going through the Prothean outlook. And if I had the choice, I would have done it this time too, because I think that that's like such a cool role that I think she fills really well. I'm going to be putting her in A tier. Vetra, she is a cool squad mate. She's a good, you compare her to Garrus, obviously, because she's your Turian squad mate. Combat wise, I think that she is fairly equal to Garrus. I have a hard time with the Andromeda people because I don't know them that well. So I'm going to be putting her in B tier as well. Javik. Jesus fucking Christ. I cannot believe it took me looking it up to remember Javik's name, because I like Javik a lot. I'm so disappointed in myself. I can't even express it. I can't even express how disappointed I am in myself. I like Javik a lot. He's a Prothean. He's really interesting. He's a DLC character from 3. It's really neat to have a Prothean and to understand more about the culture of the Protheans. It's really cool. The only reason I pick him as a squad mate, though, is because he's a Prothean, and it creates interesting dialogue options because he's a DLC character. He might land in C tier if I didn't think he was that interesting of a character outside of just his ability as a squad mate. But I'm going to be putting him in B because I really like his story and stuff. Miranda, I don't incredibly vibe with Miranda. I'm just not the biggest fan. I think her voice acting's pretty good, and there's the notorious ass shot, but like, I can't say that I think she's that great of a character. So I am going to be putting her in C tier. Zaid, I'm just not really a fan. I don't think he's that incredible of a character. I find his arc annoying because there's not one. He's kind of just an angry old man, and he doesn't really develop from that. He's a DLC character from 2, and I just don't find him that interesting. Maybe it's because I'm not like typically a renegade player, and that's pretty much all he is just a renegade style squad mate, and it's just not fun for me. I'm not a fan. Plus his abilities like aren't super great. Like, it's kind of just like a human Grunt. It's just not interesting to me. I would much rather pick Grunt than pick Zaid, obviously. Kasumi, great character, great backstory, cool abilities. She is a solid DLC character. She has a very unique ability where she disappears, walks up behind somebody, and smacks them in the head and like knocks them down, kills them. It's so fucking cool. I love picking her for my squad. Her loyalty mission is super fun. It's a heist. She's just an incredibly interesting character. There's not really a repeat of Kasumi. She's really just awesome. All right, so this is my Mass Effect tier list. I feel pretty happy with it. There could maybe be some like organizing amongst the rows, but I'm not gonna take the time to do that.